Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, members, for your attention, your time. Thank you to the chair and his PrimeCo. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that despite your political affiliation, we each want to solve this problem. It impacts each one of our communities, whether we're inland, like I am in District 42, or you're coastal. Every single Floridian is facing increased costs, not just in property insurance, just in general. And I know as a renter, my rent went up, and so many of our renters, their costs are also tied to property insurance. So these issues are all impacting our constituents. And I know it's something that across the aisle we agree needs to be solved. I think where the disagreement lies is how we're getting there. And I do have some concerns that were lifted up in my Q&A, but I'm just going to go through them very quickly of why, unfortunately, I have to be down on this bill. So first of all, there's no guarantee that savings will actually happen. And we've already talked about this, and I love hope. I voted for President Obama, hope and change, but we know that hope does not pay the bills, right? And I also appreciate the intention of mitigation, but at the end of the day, is mitigation more designed for the industry, or is it designed for the consumer? I want to make sure that both experience positive results from this bill, and I am concerned that because we don't have a cap, because we don't have any type of guarantee of savings, there's no data to back up that people will pay less. It concerns me that we're not actually delivering what we said we would. Second, stripping away access to the courts and not enough accountability measures. I do appreciate the favorite part of the bill for our sponsor, but I am concerned that in the case of hurricanes where money claims come out of, there is no reduction of timeline. That seems like a carve out that is not going to be the best interest of our constituents. I also just want to give some brief history to the existence of one-way attorney fees. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I do read case law. And it was a former justice of the Florida State Supreme Court who wrote in a 1999 ruling in a case with Allstate of why one-way attorney fees exist. To make a long story short, a woman in South Florida was hit by a car. She had medical expenses. She tried to get Allstate to pay. Allstate wouldn't, and she took them to court, and she won. And the only reason why she was able to take them to court was because of the one-way attorney fee. She would not have been able to challenge that situation, and that's health insurance, Mr. Speaker. But I am concerned that when we eliminate one-way attorney fees on property insurance, what's going to stop the supermajority from doing it on health, on auto, and so forth? And then we continue to go down this path of stripping away consumer rights for Floridians. It was already mentioned before, but we are essentially taking away the slingshot from David and giving Goliath all the tools that he wants. The third area that I want to lift up is with our citizens, consumers. I understand that we want to depopulate citizens. I would just prefer to do that once we actually know these tools are reducing costs, because right now you are just pushing citizen customers into the danger zone with very high rates and putting flood insurance on them, which you're not requiring for private customers, which seems weird to me. And so again, I'm just worried that when you do that, you're just going to push people into dire economic situations, and we're going to get calls because folks are going to be shocked to get that increase or to be forced to go to a more expensive private provider. I've gotten many emails from constituents like everyone else. Actually, right when I was on the House floor, I got an email from someone in Rockledge concerned about what we're working on and asking, can we force the governor or the insurance commissioner to pressure insurance companies? Can we have caps? These are the questions that constituents are asking, and I'm sad to see that the bill doesn't include any of those types of tools. I do want to highlight that the Democratic caucus, we offered you alternatives, we offered you amendments, we offered you our AAA plan for affordability, availability, and accountability, and it was denied. And so please remember that we have ideas. I know we're in the super minority, but we have ideas. Each one of us were elected to help work on these issues alongside you. So please, let's fight for solutions together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.